All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Monday Night Dream Team Zoom. We have a special guest tonight, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. But before I bring Emilee on, I just want to throw out something that I heard today I think it was a book I was listening to, a book or a podcast. I can't remember at this point. But it was talking about how you will always find what you want to find. So the guy was using the example of a crow will go out every day, fly around hundreds of miles, and he will always find the dead animal that he's looking for, which is kind of disgusting, but that's what they look for. And a hummingbird can fly in the exact same sky and go all the many miles, but they will only find the sweet nectar of a fruit. So if you're on the Zoom tonight and you have already convinced yourself that this Emilee Foster, who you have never met, because I've never met her, so I know you've never met her, that there's something special about her, there's something different about her, that there's something that she does that you can never do, that's what you're going to find. So I want you to stop right now. I want you to flip the switch. I want you to be the hummingbird. I want you to find the nectar. I want you to find what you are looking for. I want you to open your mind and just take in tonight everything she has to offer for us as a team, because she didn't have to be here tonight, but she is, which I'm super, super appreciative of. And I just know that, like, if you guys were at Thrive Palooza, which I know a lot of the faces on here were, she was up there, you guys, and she's not been here that long. So we're going to get to hear her story tonight and learn how she did it and how she's continuing to do it, because it's an ongoing process. But I just want you to remember, whatever you're looking for is what you're going to find. So if you've already gotten on here and you're already thinking that it's just going to be another Zoom and you're going to hear stuff and you're not going to be able to do it because this person's different than you or better than you, that's wrong. Flip your switch right now and look for all the good sweetness. So with that, Emilee, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, but honestly, I don't care. Like, I just want you to tell us all about you, where you're from, where you started, how things happened for you. So maybe take us like pre-Thrive. Like, what were you doing before you even tried the product or became a promoter?
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for having me. So I'm Emilee. I actually live in Michigan. I have two little girls whom they may come through the door. So that's my warning. My husband farms. And so this is a super busy time for us. And he's not home yet. So the girls, they welcome themselves a lot. But I am a full-time nurse, or I was a full-time nurse. I worked at the University of Notre Dame, and I had what a lot of people probably considered a dream job. I worked with the athletes. I worked with the football team, the basketball team. I worked with the most incredible sports med docs. I loved my job. I had absolutely zero intention of making this anything. And last month was actually my 1 year. So I have only been with this company 1 year. And I can tell you every day is better and better and better. So when I started, I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking for something, but like probably a lot of you, I was exhausted as a nurse. I was working during the pandemic, and I came home and I was tired. And I have two little girls. They're 2 and 5, and they went to preschool at Notre Dame. They actually still do. And so the thing is they're at preschool there. I drop them off at 7:30 in the morning, and there were days I didn't get home till 11 o'clock at night, because if somebody needed something, guess who was there? Like, I was their primary nurse. And so here I have these two little girls, but I wasn't seeing them every day. I went to the university away from bedside nursing at a hospital to have more time for family. But when the pandemic happened, if anyone knows anything about, the nursing field during this time, like, things are different. It's not how it was a year, 2 years ago at all. And I found myself exhausted. And like a lot of you guys, I was laying in bed one night, like watching everyone's stories on Instagram. And at the time, we were getting ready to start our dream home. We were starting a farmhouse. And so I had started following Modern Farmhouse. I started following these people. And I came across this girl that kept saying, like, she had all this energy and she could play with their kids. And it caught my eye. And to this day, if you are not on Instagram and you are not showing up in your stories, I will say it over and over and over: do it. Because that's how I found Thrive. I didn't know this girl. I didn't know anything about her. I had never heard of Lavelle. I had never heard of Thrive. In fact, when I started, I was like, what does DFT even stand for? Like, I didn't know what it was, but I watched her stories and I kept watching and I kept watching. And finally I messaged her and I was like, whatever you've got, I want that. I want to feel that. My husband farms. He obviously works long hours, 7 days a week. He doesn't have a day off. Um, Eats a lot of fast food because he's on the go. So he could he could help losing a little weight. He'd not appreciate me saying that, but he could lose a little weight. And so I was like, hey, we could do this together. Like they say you can lose weight and I can get energy. So let's do it. And he was like, no. So I started a 4-week experience and I just bought one for myself. Did not buy one for Andrew. I bought one for myself. And I was a day one thriver. I was lucky I was a day one thriver. So on day 10, he started taking mine. He took the women's vitamins, he took everything. We ordered his. And then I was like, well, I want to get it free. Like, I'm not gonna pay for this. And so I reached out to that same girl. And here's my next tip. She didn't respond to me. And I was like, hey, I want to be a promoter. She didn't respond to me. She happened to be at a retreat. And I was following and like, that looked cool. She had a great community. Didn't respond for 4 days later. Well, by then I had Googled because I was like, well, I want to be a promoter. Like I have people that want to do this with me. So I can get money out of this. My mom is she's a director for Mary Kay, very successful there. And so I knew like, okay, like I want to do this. I want to move on. And so I signed up with someone that's not with the company anymore. And so my leader's gone. My leader's leader is not active. My leader's leader's active is not. So there's nothing there. 5, 6 levels up, I have incredible support. And so I actually hit VIP 800, VIP 1600, hit 4K, got my car in 65 days. But when I got my car, we hit 4K. And I remember looking at my husband and I was like, hey, we're going to get a car. And he was like, you've lost your mind. Do you have any idea how much $12,000 is? And I was like, yeah, it's a whole lot. But I'm also the kind of person that when someone is like, you're not going to do that, I'm like, bet, I'm going to do it. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was doing, but all I knew was how I felt. And I tell my team that every day. You don't need to sit there and read everything about that. You don't need to know every ingredient. You don't need to know how the ingredients work. I mean, I'm in medical. We have several physicians on it. Nobody cares that. They want to know how you feel. And I could tell that, just like every one of you can tell that. How do you feel? Because that's what people want to know. Oh, Randy, he's on my team. Hi, Randy. People want to know how you feel. Can you go somewhere and share how you feel? Yeah. And guess what? People want to feel that way too. That's all you have to know to be successful in this business is your story. How do you feel? And so I took off running. We hit 12K and I got my car because Dana Chuva is one of my uplines. And she was like, if you don't get your car, you won't re-rank. You could re-rank, but if you have your car, that's your car payment. You got to have that car payment every month. And she's exactly right. I went and I got my Cadillac. My husband was like, oh my gosh. My mom drove up from Indy because he was like, we are not getting a car. Like, you're not getting a car, Emilee. And I was like, yes, I am. So my mom drove up. She test drove with me. Andrew didn't. He eventually did. And, he was on the product. He likes the product, but he's also like, and like, you have an incredible job. I mean, I made great money at Notre Dame. My kids' tuition was paid for. Like, I had everything I needed there. Why am I doing a side gig? And so I had my car, but I was like, this is great. And then what happened was I went to a retreat in January, one of Dana's, and I got to go to the retreat by chance. I wasn't one that qualified first. What happened was COVID happened and a lot of people backed out because a lot of people were like, we don't want something to happen and not be able to go to Cabo in February. And we had qualified for Cabo and we were still kind of like, gosh, I don't know what to do, like, do we go, do we not go? But I was like, I'm going to this retreat. And my husband was like, go for it. You're not, I'm not going to tell you no now, go for it. So I went to this retreat and honestly, I went there with an open mind. I knew no one. Remember, I don't have a team. My leader that I Googled, she's not even with the company at this point. I went to this retreat and I looked at people and I was like, well, they can do it. I can do it. Okay. Like this this community is incredible. Like I left there, we cried together, we laughed together. Like I left that retreat with another family. And what happened was we were on winter break at Notre Dame during this time, and I went back to work in February. And I mind you, these rank advancement bonuses had dropped, right? Those dropped in January. So they were there, and that was like, wow, 40,000, like that's huge, right? Like we were 12, so that was the only option. My husband was 4, but not really a 4 at that time. And he had hit it once when they offered 1,000 in credits. It was a promo that was like you got 1,000 in credits for hitting 4K, and he hit it that month. And then, honest to goodness, I don't think he hit it again. And so it's January. I went back to work. Of course, pictures were posted, and that did not go over well. It did not go over well that I was a nurse at a university with a group of people not wearing a mask. And when I went back to the university, I pretty much was given the option that you can stay and you can commit your time here, or you can walk away. And it was at that moment that I realized I had a choice. What just happened to my light? Sorry, guys. Lights went out. I had a choice. I no longer had to stay there because I didn't have another option of income. I no longer had to stay there because if I didn't, I couldn't afford private insurance. And I remember leaving that meeting, coming home, and I said, Andrew, I have a choice. I can do this. And he was like, whoa. And I was like, no, I can do this. I just watched. I just went to a leadership and I saw people that were millionaires in this company. Why can't I do that? And he was like, okay, but you know, you're giving up insurance. Because my husband's a farmer. We're giving up our college tuition. Like my kids' tuition is paid for anywhere in the US. You're giving up this, you're giving up that. And I was like, my kids are 2 and 5. I can get their tuition set up. I have money. My car's paid for. I can do insurance. And I sat here and I wrote a whole list down. And Andrew and I sat down and he was like, walk away. Because at that point, I was going to have to sign a paper. My parents live in Indy. I'm in Michigan. I was going to have like a release to be able to go see my parents because we were like just the students weren't allowed to leave, but they were just really trying to get everything under control. And I do understand that. But I came back knowing I have a choice. And you have to remember that you are given a gift with this company. You have a choice. And before I hopped on this Zoom, I did some numbers. So I started in June of last year. From June until January 1st, our team did $97,174 of sales. It is, I don't know what day it is today, June something, July. We're in July. And we have done over $400,000 in sales since January 1st. Now, in January, our team did $27,000 in sales. February, our team did $29,000 in sales. I left Notre Dame in February and I said, I have one choice. I have one choice. I'm no longer waking up every day and changing lives at a university. I'm no longer waking up every day and my job is to take care and make sure that these athletes and these students have everything they need to be healthy. I get to now make sure everyone else has what they have to be healthy. I'm still a nurse. Like I will never let my nursing go. I'm still a nurse. I'll be a nurse till the day I die. But the way that I am now leading my heart and following my heart of helping other people, God led me in a different way. And March, we hit 45,000 in sales. We hit 40K in March. And in April, we ended the month in April at 84,000. So we doubled from March to April. So we hit 80K in April. My husband hit 40K in April. So we were able to truly build him from not even a 4K to a 40. But you know, the only thing that changed for me was looking at myself in the mirror and saying, you can have whatever you want to have. How hard are you going to work for it? Are you going to wake up every day and hope your team does it for you? Because I'm in the grind every day. I'm on Zooms every morning at 8 o'clock. I do devotionals every day. I do self-development every day, because you know what? Like at the end of the day, this is a job for me. I make, I don't know, 5 figures a month at this point. Like that's a job. I have tripled my salary at Notre Dame. All because I'm leading with my heart. Everything I do, I pour into my team. My team knows that. I don't care if you are my level 1 or you are my level 5. You have the same resources. And in March, I started this. I'm going to see if I can turn my, you guys are going to probably laugh a little bit. Let me see if I can turn my camera on. I might not know how to do that. Okay, maybe not. So y'all are going to see my bedroom because that's my office. So I have this back here. Okay, you guys see that? Like the sticky notes. We call it this is like my dream board. My poor husband, it's great decoration. Okay, so I started this board in March because it got to where I needed to wake up every day and know what my team wanted. Because if you stop worrying about yourself and you stop worrying about where do I need to be? How many sales do I need today? Oh my gosh, I'm not on track. I'm not on track. And you start putting that time that you're spending telling yourself you're not on track into helping your team get on track, guess what? If they're growing, you're growing. And so this right here are my people that are going for ranks, people that are running, people that are showing up every day for themselves, for their team, people that are showing up are on this board. And at the beginning of the month, I tell everybody, we have a Zoom and I say, where do you want to be? What are your dreams? What are your goals? I can sit here and I can tell you what Randy's goals are because I know them. He's the one I see. Sorry. I did see him. I got this new computer. I can't even tell how to see anybody. And so like, I know my team like the back of my hand. And we don't just talk about Thrive. Like I know where Randy started and I know where Randy is today. Not only like his history of the things he's gone through, but his why. Why did he start? So I tell my team, stop focusing on yourself every day and focus on everyone around you. Because we're not in this business just for ourselves. We're in our business to change lives. And that might be financially. That might be helping them be able to be a mom that can play on the floor with their kids. That might be like me that wanted to come home and instead of only giving 50% of myself to my kids for the little time I have and being able to give them 100%, that's life changing for people. Everyone doesn't want this as a business, and that's okay. I have some people on my team that they just want to thrive free. You know what? Thriving free is a huge freaking goal, and it better be written on that wall. Like I am so happy with no matter where they are. If they're 4K or if they want to be a 200K with me on stage next year, I'm there with them because I'm happy where they are. Because no matter what you're doing, one sale a day, that's changing one person's life. That's huge. You now have brought somebody to be able to play on the floor with their kids. Maybe someone can get up and exercise today that's been too exhausted or in too much pain to do that. There is no small win on our team. Every single day, there are big wins, and we only have big wins. And I can tell you that is why, like, we're on track to be 200K. You know, I ended January at 27,000. It's the 5th of the month, and we're over that. That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing. But you know what? I don't do that on my own. I do that because I have a team that is leading with their heart. I have a team that is not only changing their own self, but everyone around them. And that's what this is about. And it doesn't matter where you came from. Look at yourself in the mirror because you can be sitting exactly where I'm at. But you have to believe in yourself because I can believe in you all day long. But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I can't do that, you're not going to. You're not going to do it. But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you are like, okay, like we're changing a life today. I'm going to talk to one person today. You're going to do it. Like you are going to do it. Paul told me right after I hit it, he was like, I need a date of when you're going to hit 200K. And I was like, oh shit, like a date. I don't know. I don't know what day. And out of nowhere, I was like July 31st. And I woke up July 1st and I was like, oh my God, that's this month. Like, what if I don't hit 200K? And you know what? Like, I don't know if our team will hit 200K. We might not. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Am I going to be on that stage with a 200K banner, a millionaire banner? Yeah. Why? Because I believe in myself and I know I believe in my team. Everyone's journey is going to be different. I might not hit it July 31st. Does that mean I failed? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We didn't fail because look how much our team brought in. That's a freaking win. That is a win. So if you get down at yourself because, oh my gosh, I didn't hit 4K. Oh my gosh, I can't even maintain 12K. How many lives have you changed this month? Because if you've changed one, that is one person that needed you. And you have to remember there's no small wins. They are all big. They are all big, but you have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in the product because I know what I have as gold. If it doesn't work for someone, I'll be like, Paul, they're probably not taking it right. So take a step back. They're probably not doing it right. But know your customers, take care of those customers because they deserve to know they deserve to know how to do this right. They're spending a lot of money. $150 is a lot of freaking money. If you're not helping your customers thrive free, you need to. You need to push that. Offer them free samples. Say, hey, I've got 2 free samples. If you have 2 friends that want to try this with you, you'll be amazed at how fast they come up with 2 names if you're going to give them a sample. And then not only do you have 2 new customers, but you have someone thriving free too. So think outside of that box. But don't make it about you. You've got to make it about that person. That person needs to thrive free because I have a list of people that I know $150 is a lot of money for them. But I also know how much they need this product. And you better bet my bottom dollar, I will do whatever I can to get them thriving free by the end of the month. That's my job as a promoter. So yeah, I just went on a long time. Sorry.
No, it's awesome. This whole thing is awesome. So I know because people are going to ask this. So you already said you do an 8 a.m. Zoom every day. What are your IPAs? Like, how are you conducting your business every day to grow? I mean, I agree with you. I think that mindset is what seals the deal. But what are your day-to-day activities that you're getting done to grow this business?
So I wake up every day. I'm doing 75 hard right now. Lord help me. So I wake up super early. I do my first workout before anything. I do not open my phone until my workout is done and my self-development is done. I read a book. You know what? No one's ever died because I haven't responded to their message. Like, it's okay to wait. It's okay to make sure you're not waking up to a negative text message or a negative message because somebody's shipment is delayed. It's okay. Don't do that. So I do 10 IAMs. I do 5 grateful fors every single day. Every day, 10 IAMs, 5 I'm grateful fors. I read a self-development book. Right now, oh, look, it's not my computer sitting on top of it. We are reading, I've got 2. Where'd the other one go? This one is really good. Believe Bigger. Whoop. This is the one we're reading now. And then you are a Badass is another good one. And so I read every day. I didn't used to love to read. 5 I'm grateful fors.
Emilee,
So 10.
real quick, we lost your face. I don't know if your video just cut out or maybe
Uh-oh.
the button on accident. We can hear you fine though, so keep talking. But I just wanted to make sure because you're apparently holding stuff up and we don't see it, but that's okay.
Can you see
but
me
we
now?
can still hear you. Nope, that's okay. Carry on. Carry on.
Okay, it could be
It'll come back.
my internet because we kind of live in the middle of nowhere.
That's all right.
So
We can hear you.
sometimes it
And I'm
goes out.
grateful for that. So just keep going. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. So I try to get my first post done. You know, I don't have a certain time of how many posts. I do follow 5 4 3 2 1. I follow it like the back of my hand. Print those out of the back office and use them. 5 4 3 2 1 we have every day. The 10 IAMs, 5 grateful fors. I read self-development. I do a ton of one-on-ones with our team to help our team. And then the other thing I do is I make connections. I mean, I connect people to my team and people that want this to somebody they can relate to. For example, poor Randy. I don't know if he's still on here. Randy is one of the guys on our team, and he came to me and he was like, Emilee, I feel like I'm the only guy. I feel left out. My husband is a 40K. He's not in the grind with this business. Not to take away from him, but he's not. He doesn't show up for our Zooms. He doesn't help the team. And so I said, okay, Randy. And what I did was I found someone that I knew was not on my team, another guy that's successful that I could connect with Randy. So as a promoter, sorry, I think a kid's running in. I connect my team with other people that they can relate to, that they can make that connection with. And so I also am making new connections. Remember, I found this on Instagram. So I show up in my stories every single day.
So real quick, can you elaborate on that? That was one thing I wanted to ask you, because that is how you found it. And so many people find it that way. Can you talk about how you do your stories?
Hang on. Emmy? Okay, go potty, Emmy. Hey, Everly, can you help Emerson? No, honey, you can go in mommy's bathroom. It's okay. Go potty. Go. I'm sorry. Can you excuse me for 1 second?
You are fine. Take your time.
I'm so sorry.
Do your mommy thing. It's okay. I'll hold the thing down. So for those of you on the team that are watching this, she said her 10 I ams. Wait, am I unmuted? Yeah. Her 10 I ams, her 5 gratefuls, self-development, and that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which obviously we talk about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 all the time. The one-on-one Zooms, that is something that we have done. And some of your faces have been on there with us. They're very effective. So yes, you can always do group chats and things like that with your promoters, but don't ever shy away from asking me or your upline or whoever you feel connected to do a one-on-one Zoom with one of your promoters. Like, let that promoter talk and share. And so I love that she said that. So, okay, are you back?
I'm back. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. That's real life right there. That's what I love about this job. You can do all that and still do this job. So, okay, so I was just saying, like, if you could talk a little bit about how you work stories, because you know how important they are.
Yes. So I put a step, I won't lie, my capsules always in the story. Always. Step 2 and 3, they kind of come and go. And that's because usually I'm getting everything ready for the girls to wake up and they just don't get in there. I don't only share Thrive. I share my life because people want to know that you're a person outside of just Thrive, right? Like, my life does not only revolve around Thrive. I'm able to live my life because of Thrive. And so you got to remind people of that. Like, my kids are in my story. We're on a farm. Like, people want to see that. People want to see, what do you do every day? Like, who am I as a person? Because they're going to connect with me. They're not going to connect to my 3 steps. They're going to connect to me. And so I show up as myself. Like, sometimes I mess up bad, but like today, all of my Thrive Fit, I talked about Thrive Fit. And then I always put in there like polls. Does anyone want a sample? We had 5 people today. They're like, I work out. I didn't even know you had that. And I'm like, you're right. Would you like a sample? And so guess what? I have 5 new customer accounts today. All because they want a sample. Because I didn't even know that we had a fit line. My fail. But guess what? I didn't use it before I did 75 hard. Because I didn't think I needed it because I didn't work out.
She's very, very hurt.
She's not hurt. Can you go help her, please?
She is.
What's she hurt about?
She
Okay, well, go help her up and bring her here, please.
No,
Please, I know that you think it's really cute to smile on camera, but go find your sister, please. I'll give you $1. And so, sorry, I just bribed my kid with $1.
I love it. I love that. It's like the highlight of the whole Zoom right there.
Oh my God.
There's not a mom on here that's not like, yeah, girl, give her that $1.
God, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but so I show up in my stories, but I also do post business opportunities. I use hang on, let me find the app because I always forget what it's called. Unfold is a really good app to have.
She told me no and go away.
Okay, well, make sure Coco Melon's on for her, please.
It is.
Okay, great, thank you. Now you may exit.
Where's my $1?
I'll give you $1 when the Zoom's over. I promise I'll give you 5 if you leave me alone and go help your sister. So Unfold is a really good app, and on Unfold, what happened, like you can save them and you can reuse them. So I do a lot of opportunity things on Unfold. I save them, and I reuse them over and over. And so I use Unfold app a lot. I do a lot of polls. And I'm just active in it. People watch your stories and you can see how many watch it. And I love that. My Instagram and my Facebook are connected. So everything that goes on my Instagram, it goes right on over to Facebook. So that's pretty much the Instagram. I mean, I just show up in them.
Okay. And then, so I don't know if I cut you off when because you were talking about your IAMs, your grateful, your self-development, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The making connections. So something that I try to talk about a lot is like the whole reach outs on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think sometimes people think that means you have to say, hey, have you heard of Thrive? And so could you talk about how you do? Talk about how
So I am very against the hey girl messages. In fact, I won't message first about that. Now I will tell you where like our house is. She's really mad. Don't mind her. She's fine. Our house is just starting to get built. And so with that, I have followed a lot of people in the same things. And so how do I connect with them? I ask them questions about their house. Like I genuinely want to know, like, how did you go from, why did you choose a 10-foot island over a 6 that you had, like I watch their stories, I follow them, and I make connections like that. Guess what? They're also going to watch your stories too. If you're following these people and you're watching them. So that's my reach out, is just making a connection. I did change wording thanks to Tommy and Q. When I see someone in the store, I'm like, hi, how are you? I always say, how are you feeling today? I'm always amazed at how many people are like, oh my God, I'm so tired today. And then guess what? That starts a conversation. So don't ask them, how are you today? Ask them, how are you feeling? Because people are honest when you truly ask them, how are they feeling? And that opens conversation. I talk to people all the time. My husband sometimes asks if I go to Target just to talk to people, because now that I'm not working, like I got to get out of the house. And but I ask people, like, how are you feeling today? I always have a sample in my purse and I'm never afraid to give it out. Like, you give me your email, I'll be more than happy to give you this sample. I always get the email first. I'm big about that. Do not give a sample out without an email. Because the last thing you want is them to Google some random person. And yes, they can still do that. But if you've got their email, they have an account with you. You've made that connection with them. You're going to help them. And so that's how I do my reach outs. I never message them first about Thrive. The only time I have is if it is a close friend and they continuously post about how tired they are and how much coffee they have. And there have been lots of times and I'm like, I have a solution to your problem that you complain about every day. But those are people that I already have a connection with. I already am close with them. Come here, Emmy. Come here. You can't cry though, okay? No, we can't cry. And what happened? Did you fall?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? You're going to be so okay. This is Emerson. Emerson is very dramatic. Can you say hi?
No.
Okay, we don't have to. It's fine. So sorry. We're a little rude too, evidently sometimes. Now you have one job if you want $5, and that's to take Rosie in the exit and get Emmy her milk, please.
Okay.
Thank you. This kid's gonna have $100 by the time this Zoom's done. 4th of July knocked these kids straight out. No sleep. You need some Thrive, don't you? She's fine. She's fine. But my connections are never, I don't reach out to people about Thrive. If I see someone with coffee in their story, I'm not like, you shouldn't drink coffee. No, that's annoying. People are going to block you for that. Don't do that. I truly make connections with them. Be a friend. Don't just be someone that sells stuff. Be a friend for them. No, we can't fake cry. Okay, I'll restart it in a minute. So sorry. No,
You are so awesome to even be trying to get through this. I super appreciate.
You're fine.
You know what I love about this too, though? We have so many people on the team that do have kids. I know it's like a struggle, but you're proving right now that it can be done. So that's
Oh yeah. If any of my team is on here, this one here, she is usually naked. So normally it's like, oh my gosh, is Emerson gonna have clothes on tonight? Show up though, you guys. People don't like we all have kids. So if you're not doing Zooms because you're afraid of them, you're missing out because because I tell you, you like getting on Zooms normally, don't you? You can color. Because my husband works, and not only does my husband work, like we have single moms on our team. You know, it's okay to show up as you are. Like you're welcome. So if people have their kids on our Zooms, they're always welcome, right? Yeah.
so. Well, can you talk a little bit about your jump from 40 to 80? Because I feel like I read something about you hitting the 40, but then I actually saw the pictures of you hitting 80 in Fort Worth, which was like so exciting to see. That's a huge jump in 1 month. Can you talk about like what the dynamic was like during all of that? Like what were you as a team doing to cause such massive growth?
It was insane. So I made a commitment to myself at the beginning of the month that I would not do BOGO. I hate BOGO. If you guys love BOGO, bless your heart. I hate them. I hate BOGO because guess what? Those people don't come back next month. And I also made a commitment that if I was going to do this and I was going to have Zooms daily and I was going to be there for my team. And if I had someone that wanted that $40,000 bonus, someone that needed that $12,000 bonus, guess what? If they're running, we're doing it together. Like I'm not meeting them halfway. Like we're 100% at that 12K together. And I take full responsibility when they don't re-hit it. Because, you know, the worst thing is not re-ranking and you're 600 short. You know, you're so short on that. And I made a commitment at the beginning of that month that we weren't going to do that. And I said, like, this is your last chance, team. Like, this is it. This is your last chance. If you want this bonus, honey, that's not real. So let's not do that. Just continue to color. If we don't have tears, we don't have to just make believe we're crying. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead and color. And so look, I'll even give you a color, but we cannot cry. Okay. Just don't color on my computer. Thank you. And so we had daily Zooms. We did, we did more three-way calls. If we had a customer that was questioning anything, it was a three-way chat, three-way, what do we need to do to help them there? We did do free plus line products for orders over 200. Because guess what? I'm at out money. I will tell you. And when we went for that, we invested $3,500 total that month. And I know a lot of people maybe invested more, some invested less. I always tell people that you can do what you want on your job, but I'm very, very adamant on my team. Hey, you may go watch TV in the dressing room now, okay? Because you're so lucky that Emerson's here, but I'm still on this call. And you're 5 years old now?
I still am.
Are you going to cry?
I want dinner.
You'll get another piece of cake if you exit the room and be quiet and go to your own TV. I can't. Okay, let me find my phone and I'll turn that back on. I bribe my kids a lot. I'm so sorry.
Fine. You've got I don't know, your patience level. You're obviously a thriver, right? You have
obviously.
You're doing so good. No, I love it. I love it.
But I was there every day. I pretty much told my husband, like, look, if I can hit this, like, we got to be there every single day.
So you took chill before the Zoom.
We live on chill in this house now. I did ask, you can only take it twice a day.
Oh,
if anyone didn't ask that question.
That's good.
It has to be 6 hours apart. In case no one else asks support, we did ask support in this house.
I think that's a very good question for support. Yeah.
But I honestly was there every day, and we made a commitment as a team at the beginning. How many are hitting this? I ended up with 7 personals that hit. And that was another goal of mine. Like I wanted to hit that rank match, like for my team, right? And they wanted that too. And so honestly, we also, and the other thing that really helped us was in March, we brought a ton of new ones on that wanted that bonus. we had a ton of new runners. And so that made a huge difference. You know, if we wouldn't have had a new running team, we wouldn't have. Now, at the very last few days, when I was like, you know, 4,000 short. Yes, that is a bumblebee. I see it. It looks just like it. And we were super short. The way that I invested in my team was I said, if you're running and you buy an $800 pack, I will cash you back $300. I did not do it for random customers. Why? Because they're not coming back. I did it for my running team because that got them the 200K promotional payout. And then it also helped them build their business. And then you better believe May 1st, our first Zoom was, what are we doing with all these samples? And so that's why we've continued to grow, but we continue to bring in new thrivers that want to run. You know, you guys still have a month and almost 2 full months for these 4 and 12K bonuses. Like, if you're sitting there and you don't have one and you're like, there's no way I can hit 12. Yes, you can. Like, you have so much time. Thank you. I love it. I'll hang it on the wall. You know, like there's so much time to still hit these. So don't count yourself out. We also have had a lot of college girls sign up lately, which kind of surprised me at first, but you wouldn't believe how many people need extra money coming back into college. And we have had 3 in college now, 3 or 4 that have hit that $4,000 bonus. And they're all like, we're getting that 12,000 before I go back to school. And so when they have that why and they have that drive, guess what? That $4,000, that's a semester of college. That's a lot of books. Kids need that. I shouldn't say kids. They're not, that makes me sound old, right? But they need that. And so not only that, but we always joke on our team that if there is an award, so when we got this award, like we knew we were going to have it, you know, they tell you you're getting an award, but you don't know what it's for. And at first, all of the teams that knew us, like the other leaders, they were like, you guys are getting it for the most amount thirst sold, because the amount of thirst that our college kids sold was insane. Thirst and expand, you give those to college kids and they're like on top of the world because they're all hungover. They all need rehydration and they all, okay, I'm so glad you're happy, but we don't need to sing. And they all need expand. Sorry, Randy. They all need expand for the focus. So the amount of expand and thirst sold for the longest time, we were like, that's what Emilee's award's for. Because we just sold so many and they promote it. You know, I have a brother in college and he thrives. He has more credits than anyone because all he sells is thirst. Like, I mean, so don't count anybody out. It does not matter how old they are. I have an 18-year-old with a $4,000 bonus because she wanted it. And I think there's 4 now.
I want another color.
Okay, there's 3 of them. The other one will hit 4K this month. So we have 3 with the 4,000. We have 3 going for 12K this month. And they have it in their mind, like, I'm hitting that 12. Like, I'm hitting that 12. I might not need a new car, but that's $300 to that car. And, you know, that's an $800 bonus. They have this like every month. Think about that. Think what $800 can do for a college kid a month. Like, a month. Are you kidding me? Like, I would have loved to have $800 a month for college. So I always tell our team, like, I don't count anybody out because you never know. I mean, I won't tell you how old Randy is, and he's killing it. Like, he's killing it. And I have 18-year-olds that are killing it. Everyone can be successful in this if you believe in yourself. Whoa, easy on the marker. My goodness. Thank you. My
Mommy,
gosh.
please turn it on. Please turn Netflix on.
I'll turn Netflix on if you'll go away.
Mommy, I don't want this one.
I'm going to let you go because I know you have your hands. And you've already given us 45 minutes of your life, which is a huge chunk of time for a mom of 2. But I just want to thank you. I think that we talk a lot about like believing in ourselves and making the decision, but to see someone who did that. And I know like the Go Award was because it was so quick, but everybody can do it quick if they make that decision to do it. So I just appreciate you sharing all of that and everything that you've gone through to get to where you are. We are all going to be rooting for you. We'll be screaming for you to hit 200K too. I just have a feeling it'll be July 31st for you. I mean, you picked the date. Paul made you do it without talking about stress. But I love that.
I know.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm super, super appreciative of your time. I can tell from the comments, everybody loved it. If you ever need anything, let us know. We would love to receive.
Thank you.
And I will send out YouTube so you guys can share anybody from the team that couldn't be on here tonight. So thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope I helped a little bit.
Oh, you were
Sorry for
awesome.
the kids.
Yeah, no, they're awesome too. You were great. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye, guys.